It was 11 at night and Kamal had still not returned from the office. Suklaji kept coming out at every little sound. He gently pushed the door open. Silence blanketed the street. Both he and the door had become accustomed to waiting for Kamal. With every tick of the clock, his anxiety grew. Suddenly a car passed through the dark alley, its sound breaking the silence. Suklaji's walking stick paused as he heard the noise. Woof woof. The street dogs filled the alley with their barking, chasing the car until the corner, and then returning. Why these dogs seemed to harbor such animosity towards passing cars was beyond comprehension. Perhaps the noise disturbed their sleep, or the car's speed reminded them of life's harsh realities. They would chase the car as if, by driving them out of sight, they could claim their restless mind. But as they say, simply closing your eyes doesn't solve a problem. Suklaji sighed deeply. He had slept countless nights like this, waiting for Kamal. Just then, bright headlights illuminated the house walls, stretching longer and longer until the car came to stop. Hearing the sound, Suklaji, with the support of his stick, made his way to the gate. Wearing a white shirt and blue pants, Kamal looked utterly exhausted. His tie hung loosely around his neck, much like the unfulfilled dreams and desires weighing on his life. How many times had Suklaji tried to explain to him, "Don't chase your dreams and desires so hard, or life will keep chasing you forever." How true those words were. Kamal's life had indeed turned into a pendulum, swinging endlessly between dreams and ambitions. As a child, Kamal used to cling to his mother's pallu and wander around the house. He was so scared of the dark that he would not even go to the bathroom alone. Now, the same Kamal returned home from work at midnight. He was engulfed by the dense darkness of the desires and ambitions, trapped in its firm grip. Every other year, he switched companies, seeking a little more than before. His desires never learned to tire or stop. Kamal shouldered his bag, shut the car door, and moved forward, only to find Suklaji standing before him. "Why so late today, Kamal?" "Dad, it's March, and there's a lot of work at the office right now. But why are you still awake?" Hearing the car horn, Nidhi also stepped outside. Suklaji didn't know how to respond to Kamal's question. "I could not sleep because I was worried about you being late." Hearing this, Kamal got irritated and snapped, "Dad, I come home late every day. How many times have I told you to sleep and not worry?" "Nidhi is here, isn't she? You are becoming just like Mom. She also used to sit by the door, waiting for me." Sleeplessness in old age was common, but waiting by the door wouldn't make him arrive sooner. Kamal entered the house without waiting for a response. Suklaji thought, "He is right. Why do I worry? Nidhi is here." Tonight, Suklaji missed his wife dearly. Until Kamal returned, she would too never sleep peacefully. Many times, she would doze off right by the door while waiting. Suklaji had often told her, "He is married now. Someone is there to take care of him. Why do you still worry?" But her worries were ceased. Kamal's car stopped at a gate. There was a large crowd gathered outside. Sensing something was wrong, Kamal hurried through the crowd. Nidhi stood sobbing on one side. Suklaji sat by the door, leaning on his stick. No one knew when his soul had departed. Today, Kamal had truly returned too late. Suklaji's face looked peaceful. The worries about whether his son had returned or not ended with his death. He was now in a deep sleep, a peaceful sleep that would never be broken again.